It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a large fortune must be in want of a wife. Hi there, it's Kirsten, and I'm sure so many of you know these lines by heart as well, because they are from my favourite book, Pride and Prejudice. I checked. I bought the book in June 2003, which was my last year at university. And it so often happens that if you attend a seminar at university, you just don't like the reading list. But as soon as I had a seminar on Jane Austen, it was amazing. I loved every single minute. And when we read Pride and Prejudice, I kept on reading and didn't want it to end because the language in there is exquisite, and I think I've read it several times. To this day, it's still my favorite book, and sometimes I just take the book and read some lines in it because of the beautiful language, and I did that last weekend as well. Popped on what I like to call my Jane Austen dress. It's linen. You get to see it in one of my next videos, so stay tuned for that. It's my favorite dress. I know, I always say that. And along with reading nice passages from the book, I made a gluten-free Victoria sponge cake, one of the favorite cakes of Queen Victoria, hence the name. It's really easy. I did it. I was surprised. It was the first time I made it, so stay tuned for the recipe. Also check the info box for the whole recipe if you'd like to make it as well. And the funny thing is, I don't know, there are lots of film adaptations again of Pride and Prejudice. They are all great, but my favorite one is still the BBC film adaptation with Colin Firth. Maybe also because part of it, Pemberley, was filmed in Lion Park, which is near Stockport. We've been there several times, and it's always such a nice day out. And what I like to mention as well, because it probably makes you laugh, if you haven't watched the fantasy adaptation of Pride and Prejudice, Lost in Austen, do it because it's beautiful. And last time we visited Bath, we of course went to the Jane Austen Museum, and one of the visitors, a female visitor, stopped and said to me, "You look like the main character." I think the actress is called Jemima Rooper. She said, you look like her, and I was like, oh my god, thanks so much. I was terribly flattered. And yeah, stay tuned for the recipe. Hope you like this video, and if you want to see more of my weekly videos, just hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next week, of course. Bye bye. Now let's make the cake, and of course I had to pop on my pretty little linen apron that for me is like a fashion accessory. For the cake you need 5 fresh eggs and beat them for about 5 minutes until they are very thick and creamy. You will need about 250 grams of sugar and add it bit by bit, beating until it dissolves. Now comes the flour. Add 250 grams of gluten-free flour with half a teaspoon of gluten-free baking powder and add slowly to the mixture. Divide the mixture into 2 baking tins and bake for 20 to 22 minutes. Then spread some raspberry jam on one base and top it with 300 milliliters of whipped cream. Top with a second sponge, dust with icing sugar, and you're done. It's so easy. Afterwards, I made some lovely English breakfast tea, which is my favorite tea in the whole world. Used some gorgeous silverware that I bought back in Germany many years ago. Lit a candle and now couldn't wait to read some of the passages of Pride and Prejudice and enjoy a gorgeous piece of